So in the previous step, you have finalized your niche or couple of niches, depending upon what strategies that you have used. Now it's time for you to do keyword research on all the niches or a single niche that you have finalized. It's perfectly okay for you to, be in a dilemma to choose between several niches that you have finalized. Right, so like some of the times you will come across a single niche, you will finalize a single niche, but typically people find themselves in a dilemma to choose between several niches even after finalizing their niche. Now it's time for you to do keyword research for each and every niche, because at the end of doing keyword research for each and every niche, you will have a clear clarity about one niche that you need to go after. So keyword research refers to the process of you researching the keywords that people are entering on Google. For example, if people are willing to buy some best smartphone for gaming, they will be typing in best smartphone for gaming on Google, right? There are several keywords that people type on Google on an everyday basis, right? So if there is a lack of content for any keyword, then that keyword is low competitive. That means there are no mainstream authoritative sites covering the content related to that keyword. It means there is a lack of content and you can easily rank when you start your blog for those keywords and attract traffic. It's all a game of demand and supply. Right? It's all a game of demand and supply. So you need to be writing about the keywords for which there is high demand for content, but there is low supply of content. With this, Google will be driving you more traffic because there's lack of content on the topic and many people are searching for them. It's very important to find the keywords that have low competition. There is lack of content. For example, in India, when GST, goods and service tax, was introduced, there was a lack of content online regarding GST, right? How GST applies for restaurant business, how GST applies for agencies, how GST applies for tourism. So ClearTax, it's an online tax filing solution, saw this as an opportunity and they hired chartered accountant cum writers to write on their blog. They created hundreds, if not thousands of quality pieces of content around GST. Guess what? There was no competition at all, right? GST was a new thing and ClearTax entirely dominated the SERPs or search results page for all the GST related queries. Like this, you need to understand demand and supply, right? So that you can easily dominate search engine results page for almost all the queries in your niche. See, even if your content is mediocre, if you are blogging in a niche that has really good low competitive keywords and there are many people searching for the keywords, then success will be yours. Before brainstorming the actual keywords, you need to first analyze what are all the subtopics that you will be covering on your blog. You need to come up with some topics that are relevant to the niche that you have chosen. For example, say if you have chosen optics niche, right? So in optics niche, you can come up with various topics like, binoculars, monoculars, telescopes, or rangefinders, CCTV cameras. There are many topics that you can come across when it comes to optics niche. Like this, you need to first analyze all the topics that are inside your niche so that you have some topics on your hand to begin your keyword research rather than just researching the keywords by just entering your niche name. Only after coming up with at least 5 to 7 topics inside your niche, you are allowed to do your keyword research. In this video, I will teach you on how to come up with the various topics inside your niche. That is also called as topical research or keyword clustering, because you need to group your keywords into one topic under different topics, right? And then publish highly related content in one topic. That means you will be targeting all the group of keywords that are under one topic. And also you will be learning what are the different types of keywords and their benefits, and also various keyword research methodologies, so that you will get a complete picture of keyword research to further better internalize what are all the things that I am going to discuss in this module. Stay tuned. So for example, in this course, I have took the example of optics. Here you have the niche that you have shortlisted, that is optics. So under optics, you have various sub niches. You have DSLRs, monoculars, compact cameras, rangefinders, spotting scopes, telescopes, binoculars, mirrorless cameras, trail cameras, and much more. So in this video, you will be figuring out how to find sub niches or the topics that you can cover under your main niche for starting your site. So as I told you earlier, you need to start your site around the low competitive topics. So in this case, these topics are randomly arranged. Okay, you need to arrange it properly. For example, trail cameras may have low competition. Okay, and next to trail cameras, binoculars may have low competition, and next to binoculars you have monoculars that is tightly relevant and will have the similar competition, because you need to rearrange these sub niches so that highly relevant niches are grouped together, and also you need to cover low competitive niches first. And you have rangefinders that you can blog about, and maybe telescopes, spotting scopes right here, and spotting compact cameras, and at last you will be covering about DSLRs, because DSLR is a niche that have really high competition. So this is how you will be able to rearrange the niches. Okay, so again, now let us discuss about how to find these kind of niches. Now it's important for you to know the concept of keyword clustering. Again, in this video, you will be finding the topics in your niche that are big enough to write 50 plus articles. Okay, you will be researching closely relevant 4 to 5 topics inside your niche. And once you start brainstorming the keywords, you will be fitting those keywords inside these topics. And this process is called keyword clustering. Okay, you will be clustering relevant keywords together inside the sub niches that you will research. This is really important, guys, because having multiple articles in a topic, it boosts your topical SEO and authority. Okay, so for example, as I showed you in this mind map, if you are covering only about trail cameras, binoculars, and monoculars when you're beginning the site, then it carries a lot weightage when it comes to your topical authority. And on the other hand, if you are dabbling all over the place in the optics niche, one day you are publishing about DSLRs, one day about binoculars, one day about spotting scopes, so you will not have authority in the eyes of Google in any of these niches, because your site will be quite new. So in that case, you need to target the keywords around only these 2 topics, or maybe 3 key topics beginning with. So along with that, there are various benefits of keyword clustering. It helps you a lot in task batching. It will help you to create content in batches, because if you have hired the freelance writer, or if you're writing your own content, it will be very easy for you to get trained, or for you to train the freelance writer about one specific topic that you will be covering in the next 5 months. And on the other hand, if you're dabbling all over the place with various sub niches inside your main niche, it will be very hard for your writer to get trained about every possible sub niches in your main niche. So it helps you a lot to execute tasks in batches, right? He can easily write articles expecting that he will only get to write the articles around the binoculars in the near future. And also it will help you a lot for you to prepare outlines for the writer, because you will be dealing with only binoculars for the near future, and also you will be able to outsource work in batches, and also you'll be able to raise the bar and review the freelancer work in batches, because you'll be dealing with only one topic. So there are a lot of benefits of keyword clustering and covering only 1 or 2 or maximum 3 sub niches when beginning your site, rather than writing random articles. So now let me discuss how to research the topics or the sub niches that you can blog about inside your niche, because having a list of sub niches or topics that you will be covering on your blog will be very important, because you will be able to see whether there are enough keywords and topics that you can cover in your niche, and as well as you'll be able to find what are all the things that you need to cover first to get that initial traffic. Okay, low competitive niches. So the first one is you can make use of tools. You can make use of dedicated topical research tools like SEMrush topic research tool or Market Explorer tool. So Here you have SEMrush Market Explorer. So here you need to enter in any domain name. So you have already finalized your niche, and in that niche there are various other sites that will be your potential competitors. So you can enter in any of your industry competitors. For example, if you are into optics, you can enter in opticsmag.com. So what SEMrush does is it analyzes this site and does the market research. So here you can see these are all the industry competitors. You have game changers, leaders, niche players, established players that are competitors to this Optics Mag. So you can head over to their sites and see what all the things that they are covering. And also you have domain versus market dynamics, and the total traffic that this site is getting, and many more things here. So you can also head over to traffic analytics overview and get an idea about what are all the metrics that you can expect when after starting your site. You will get to know how many visitors this site is getting, the bounce rate, the average visit duration, and all the things, and also the traffic share and much more. Okay, so you have this traffic journey also here, like from where people are coming to Optics Mag and where they are going. And you can see Optics Mag is an Amazon affiliate. Yeah, because people are going to Amazon site after visiting Optics Mag. Okay, so there are various things that you can see here. And also you have audience insight section. So you will get to know what are all the other sites people are visiting along with this site. The people who are visiting this site, Optics Mag, are also visiting Outdoor Empire, Nikon Sport Optics, and much more. So you can consider visiting these sites, okay, and see what are all the optics related things that they are covering for them to be competitors for Optics Mag according to SEMrush. So here you have it, like rifle scope, right, that I can consider covering on my optics related blog if I were to start, right? Red dot sights cameras, night vision cameras. So there are various things that I can cover in the optics niche. Okay, so I can take a deep dive and see what are all the things that they are covering, and I can go with each of these sites. Okay, alternatively you can also make use of Ahrefs. I have already discussed about that, right? Ahrefs will be the main tool that we will be using for our site success. So here you need to enter in opticsmag.com, and here you will be heading over to competing domains, and you have optics and lab, best binoculars reviews, binoculars guru, and much more. So you can head over to these sites and see what are all the things that they are covering. Okay, microscopes. Okay, that's cool. So there are a lot of things, guys. This leads us to the next step, that is competitor sites. You need to analyze the categories, tags, and size structure of other websites in the niche to come up with different topics to write about in the niche. Okay, as I told you, when I started competitor site research, I came across many good sub niches in the optics category, like red dot sight cameras or night vision cameras, spotting scopes, rifle scopes, microscopes. There are a lot of things. So to take this to the next level, what I can do here is I can head over to the competitor sites and type in /sitemap.xml. Okay, and I can also repeat this for this site also. Okay, so here you can see they have a category sitemap. So not all the sites will have the category sitemap, but still you need to test. Okay, so here when I head over to category sitemap, this site, that is Outdoor Empire, is covering all outdoors like hunting, shooting, fishing, and all those things. The main interest for us is optics. You can see optics is the parent category here. So I can enter in /optics. I've already entered when preparing for this video. So binoculars reviews, and scope sites, holographics. So you will get to know what are all the things that you will be covering. NV goggles. So I can just take a note of all these things, guys. So mind map will be more exhaustive when I do this kind of research. Okay, so you have this site, so they don't have a category page, right? So in that case, you can go to their post sitemap and just figure out what are all the things that they are covering. Best benchtop centrifuge. Okay, so centrifuge is their compound microscope. Centrifuge is on a digital pocket scale, mechanical balance. Yeah, there are a lot of things. Thermometer, okay. Lab chair, lab stool. That's good. They're covering a lot of things. So you can just borescope. There are a lot of things, guys. Clamp meter. So this is how you will be researching the competitor site. So you can also head over to their site and make use of the navigation bar to see what are all the niches that they are mainly covering. So just take a look at their website and you will get to know trail cameras. They're covering it. Scope, scales and balances. I'm not sure whether it's optics, magnifiers. What is this? Meters and cleaners. So yeah, you got an idea, right? So the next one is Google Suggest. So you can make use of Google search suggestions for filling in the blank, the topics you can go after. So what I can do here is I can head over to Google and just type in optical equipments. Okay. So when I type in optical equipments, it will return me all the some local results and also some things that are not really my interest. So in that case, you need a list of optical equipments. Okay. So again, eye testing and all medical bias is there. So in that case, optical equipment list, and in double quotes I can enter binoculars, so that Google will return me all the results that contain binoculars in them. Optics related equipments, astronomy equipment, sports optics, there are a lot of things. Okay, so and also along with that, I can also let Google fill in the blank, like best binoculars. Okay, so here I need to place my cursor, and you can see best compact binoculars, best night vision binoculars, best small binoculars, and much more. So this is called wildcard keyword research. So you will be using the fill in the blank methodology for finding the keywords. Okay, and you have microscopes. I've never thought of it. So best USB microscopes. That's good. USB microscopes. All right. So you can see there are some sites that are around microscopes, like Microscope Master and all. Microscope Spot. So yeah, you now have a huge list of subtopics that you can go after. But now you have researched. But the question is, what sub-niches among these you need to first go after? For example, in case of optics that I showed you in the mind map, I easily sorted the list by low competitive to high competitive because I have researched the optics space. But what about you? What about you? Like, how can you determine what niches or sub niches that you can go after first? You need to do keyword research. You need to do keyword research, at least the basic keyword research for each and every sub niches that you have researched for your niche, so that you will be able to determine what sub niches to first go after, especially when trying to rank your new site. Okay, so before doing keyword research, you need to realize the basics of keyword research. So there are two types of keyword research. Okay, based on the length of the keywords. Those are short tail keywords and long tail keywords. So short tail keywords, these are short keywords with 2 to 3 keywords in them. Okay, they have high volume, high competition, and typically unclear intent. For example, if you consider the term best binoculars, that contains only 2 words. Okay, it contains only 2 words. So this is a short tail keywords. As you may have guessed, there are a lot of competition when it comes to best binoculars, because it's a short tail keywords and many authority sites will also be covering about them. So it has high volume, high competition, and typically unclear intent. That is, when people search for best binoculars, they haven't specified what kind of binocular they want. They haven't specified they want compact binoculars or anything like that. Okay, and you have long tail keywords. So these are long keywords with more than 3 words in them. Okay, they typically have lower volume, lower competition, and very specific intent. If someone is searching for best compact binoculars under $100, it is a long tail keyword because the intent is very specific. That is, he wants a compact binocular that may fit in his pocket and is under $100. It tells a lot about his psyche and also his interests. Okay, so let me give you another example. So here in this graph, in one axis you have competition, that is lower competition and higher competition, and in another axis you have lower conversions and higher conversions. Okay, so here you can see you have fat head keywords, chunky middle, and long tail keywords. Okay, fat head and chunky middle or short tail keywords, and you have long tail keywords. So when you consider the keyword apartments, it is a one word phrase. Okay, so apartments or any other one word phrases or fat head keywords. Okay, so this term has 2 million 2.2 million average monthly searches. And when you consider apartments in Houston, it is a 2 to 3 word phrase, that is a short tail keyword along with this keyword. So that has 33,000 average monthly searches. And you have long tail keywords. You can see apartments in Houston under $1,000. Okay, more specific phrases. Okay, so it has 110 average monthly conversions. And you have much more longer tail keywords like 3-bedroom apartments in Houston under $1,000. So it has 90 average monthly searches. So as you can see, as you go with long tail keywords, the intent is very clear, right? So for example, when some person searches for apartments, it's unclear whether he's interested in buying an apartment or whether he is interested in renting an apartment, or in what location is he looking for the apartments. Like, it's a lot of guesswork, right? So you have apartments in Houston. Again, the intent is that he's looking for an apartment in Houston, but is he looking for a luxury apartment or a premium apartment, or is he looking for a 1 BHK or 2 BHK apartment? The intent is not clear. Okay, but in this case, he is specifically looking for, say, like 2 BHK apartments in Houston, or he's particularly looking for 3-bedroom apartments in Houston under $1,000. So when you go behind long tail keywords, you can easily tailor your content so that it appeals to the searcher's psyche. So you can include the content that will be most helpful for them. Okay, and also, as people are searching for longer tail keywords here, they are more likely to convert. In this case, the conversions will be really low because there will be people who are searching for just the meaning of apartment or something like that, right? The intent is not clear. That results in lower conversions. And also this has higher competition because you have Wikipedia pages and all other authority sites competing with you. And on the other hand, in this segment, you have lot of long tail keywords, and the conversion will also be high depending upon what type of keyword it is. Okay, so there are a lot of keywords in this section here. So you need to research long tail keywords. Again, especially when your site is new, I recommend you to go with these kind of ultra long keywords, because there will be a scarcity of content when the length of the keywords will be long. And later on down the line, you can cover these keywords and also these keywords, like 2 to 3 word phrases like best compact, binoculars or stuff like that. How to research keywords, especially long tail keywords. So when it comes to keyword research methodologies, there are 2 ways. The first one is keyword exploring. So you will be entering the seed keyword in tools like SEMrush, Ahrefs, Ubersuggest, and these tools will suggest you the related and longer variations of the keywords along with metrics. So let me show you how. So here, first I can head over to Ahrefs, and here I have Keyword Explorer. So here I need to enter in the keyword, say binoculars. And here I can head over to all keyword ideas, and it will return me all the keywords that I can go after when it comes to binoculars. Okay, you have different filters like phrase match, having same terms, also rank for, and much more. But as I'm searching for only one word seed keyword, then this is more than enough, right? So you can see here, you can apply word count here. Say like I want keywords with only the word count of minimum 3, so that it will display you only the long tail keywords. Okay, especially when your site is new, this is really important. You have night vision binoculars that has 16K. So let me make it 4, because volume should be below 500 or even low when you are publishing your initial content on your new blog. Longer that keyword, then the lower the volume will be. Okay, so you can see there are a lot of keywords. Okay, so there are a lot of keywords. Like, again, you can apply some filters like to include any of the keywords like best, alternative, review, and so on, right? There are various commercial modifiers that you can add here that you have already learned, I guess. Best binoculars for hunting, night hero binoculars review, best bird watching binoculars. So these are all the long tail keywords that you can go after. Okay, so again, at this stage, you need not to worry about the competition of these keywords. The only goal of this stage, right, keyword brainstorming or research phase, is just to make a huge list of keywords that you can later shortlist and analyze the competition. Okay, for the next 2 to 3 sections, we will be covering only about finding the keywords. Okay, we will not be teaching you on how to do competitive analysis. So you can also make use of SEMrush. So the reason why I'm making use of multiple tools when it comes to keyword research is that these tools have different keyword databases. Ahrefs excels in some niches and SEMrush excels in some other niches. So you can make use of keyword magic tool and just search for binoculars. SEMrush will return you all the keywords related to binoculars. So you can make a list here. So this is a way that is keyword exploring that I will discuss later on in this section. And you have competitor keyword research. So you will be able to discover what are all the keywords your competitor or other sites are ranking on Google. So the tools like SEMrush or Ahrefs will come handy here. In Ahrefs, you can head over to dashboard or you can head over to Site Explorer. Okay, in Site Explorer, you can type in OpticsMag. Okay, so Ahrefs will display in all the keywords that this site is ranking for when you enter in organic keywords. So these are all the keywords for which this site OpticsMag is ranking. For example, if I search something like best compact binoculars, this site is ranking in position 3. Okay, so let me drag and drop and you can see it's ranking in position 3. Okay. So like this, you will be able to figure out what are all the keywords that are driving traffic to this site. Okay. The reason why I'm saying that you need to have a huge list of your competitors in your database is this. You will be able to easily implement competitor keyword research. So this is about competitor keyword research. So these are all the main two keyword research methodologies that we will be discussing. So keyword exploring, you will be making use of Ahrefs, Ubersuggest. There are a lot of tools for this. I have only showed you Ahrefs and SEMrush. And for competitor keyword research, you have many other tools like SEMrush, Ahrefs, SERPstat, again Ubersuggest. There are a lot of tools, but the main ones in this list are SEMrush and Ahrefs. Right, so SEMrush is very suitable for agencies because of their additional features. But if you are into SEO alone, you can make use of Ahrefs that offers the best features for niche websites.